You're locked into Hits 92.3. The views, stories, and opinions shared on this program belong solely to the hosts and their guests. They do not represent the views of Hits 92.3 Radio, management, staff, partners, advertisers, parent companies, or affiliates. And if you don't know what any of that means, listener discretion is advised. Now sit back, turn up your volumes, and enjoy the content from one of the greatest, dopest radio personalities to ever touch this microphone in 3, 2, 1.
My name is Joey H. This is the headband, and this is our submission for Tiny Desk. This song is called Tour Bus, and I wrote this about taking this all over the world and where music can take us. Tricked out my tour bus, tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus, tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus, tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out, tricked out, tricked out. I tricked out, I tricked out, I tricked out. I tricked out, I tricked out, I tricked out. Yeah. Darren Ron Shoddy. I dare someone to stop me. Dare someone to jump and I throw it home. Spinning full of winners, hit the map on my mobile phone. Paradise the exit, we can stop cause we very close. Shaking hands with a fan on the west coast. They ask, am I nervous and for rap what I want most? Anxiously, I smile and laugh. Try to think about an answer. It's basically like, I want it all. I need the rain to flee. Been under dark clouds so much it's been a pain to see. Patient, but I'm 28. I'm pacing around the question. Bro, I need some payments, G, back to it. I'm like, man, I just wanna live. Show the world to my girl and our future kids. So I'm on road, got a show to kill, moves to make. He bought a tea and said, good luck, I know you're making life. Tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out, tricked out, tricked out. I tricked out, I tricked out, I tricked out. I tricked out. Woo! True story, started this record back in 17. Rapping about everything I never seen. Tried to write it down so I could make it happen. Now me and Mike on flights to Denver for the tour of madness. Now that is magic, should've stayed with all is possible. So watch your every move, it's only right, I gotta prove. Believe it's right, I mean these people with OTs. From my 40 days of sleep of faith. Started with these writings just to formulate a better life for me and mine. It's been a climb, but we still going. Thankful for every moment, glad we make it every morning. Now we rewarded for the free shows we prayed on. These C notes, one dive in my wallet like free throws. I prayed for this. Now this time here, feel like the greatest thing. Years later, we still singing the same. Taking risks, catalogs, and passion. And remember when we happened to trick out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. Yeah. Tricked out my tour bus. 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 Let's rock. Tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out. I tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out. Tricked out. Tricked out. I 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 tricked out. Woo! Tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. Tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. I tricked out my tour bus. Thank you.
Hey, the secret's out. Hits 92.3 is now accepting submissions for brand new shows. That's right, you could become a radio personality right here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. You don't have experience? That's okay. You don't live in Georgia? That's okay. You don't know what to do now? Now that's not okay. But your girl is here to help you out. Email us today at hits923newshow@gmail.com and tell us about your potential show with Hits. Again, that email address is hits923newshow@gmail.com. Don't be last. The slots are filling fast.
Good afternoon. We are live here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. This is Karen, the Connector, and I'm here every Thursday from 2 to 4 talking about what you've been looking for. So today, I really just want to do a quick recap of my peptide journey. And I know some people are sick of me talking about this, but it's like the biggest thing going on in my life right now because it's life-changing, inside and out. And I just want y'all to know, like, since I started the peptides, and I'm on new peptides now, something called NAD plus and something else, but I didn't write that down and I wasn't prepared. But anyways, I'm down almost 22 pounds since I started this peptide journey, which was like 6 weeks ago. And not only that, I'm clearer, more focused, more than ever, and just much more goal oriented, just thinking about the things I need to do to reach my goals. But most of all, of course, I feel lighter. My inflammation in my body is down. I had, swelling where there always was swelling. I have no swelling in my feet anymore, which I thought was like a regular, normal thing for me. But in the last week, I've looked down at my feet like I got regular feet. So yeah, definitely reach out to Healthwise Medical on Brownsville Road and Powder Spring in Dallas, Georgia, but it's right on the borderline of Douglasville and Dallas. So it's right there near the Food Depot, if you're familiar. But yeah, shout out to Rain and her husband, Edward, who have been walking me through this peptide journey, making sure I stay informed and consistent, and it's working. It's really working. And to those who do get started, just know it takes a few weeks for you to really start feeling and seeing the things that you need to see. A lot of people saw it right away, but I'm just starting to feel it and see it. So shout out to Healthwise Medical for partnering with me and allowing me to experience this peptide thing. But today on the show, we're going to be talking about, are we healing or are we just staying busy? Which really, when I was looking for topics for today's show, I was thinking about, like, usually, and I always do this, I always try to find something that resonates with me in the moment and season that I'm in. And this one was like, yeah. When I started this year off and I started making the decisions to say yes to a lot of different things and events and showing up when I'm going out again and going to different meetings, I thought that would help me along the way and just staying busy, you know what I mean? And showing up again. And I thought that was the answer to a lot of the things that I was going through and my healing and all the different transformations that I've been doing in my life and going on in my life. But now I'm realizing that staying busy is not the answer. Yeah, I believe you should always show up and look your best and do your best. But when the show is over and when the event is over, you need to return back to working on yourself, working on your healing, and and doing those things that are going to help you internally. That way you can keep growing and doing all the things that you were destined to do. So today we're going to be talking about that, because sometimes we stay so busy because slowing down will force us to feel everything that we've been avoiding. And that is so my reality right now. Staying busy. I gotta go. I gotta show up, da 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 da, instead of just sitting down and being still and accepting what's going on in my personal life. And so yeah, so I want to talk about how this topic resonates with me. And of course, I would love for you all to call in and be a part of the show. You can click and watch me on YouTube, or of course, you can keep watching me here on Facebook. The number is 404-254-4347. 404-254-4347. Call in and be a part of this conversation about, just staying booked and busy and trying to avoid the things that you really need to be talking about or just dealing with, even if it's personally and privately. Sometimes we just show up and stay busy and just avoid all of these things that we need to be avoiding. So I'm going to take a quick break and allow people to just like, hey, get the number, get the phone, call in 404-254-4347. Let's talk about, are we healing or are we just staying busy, or are we doing both? 404-254-4347. And I'll be right back here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio.
So it seems I got some enemies, yeah. I can feel it in your energy, yeah. I see you hating on what's meant to be, but a nigga too blessed to be stressed out. I'm too blessed, I'm too blessed to be stressed out. I'm too blessed, I'm too blessed to be stressed. We've been kicking it hard for a minute. I cherish the memories all that we've been through. I guess that I didn't prepare for the moment that we couldn't work through our issues. Difference between us and time is the reason, and really I can't even blame you. It is what it is. I gotta forgive. Shit, I don't wanna change you. I gotta respect that we had a connection. That shit was the truth. The natural selection, I call it divine intervention. No lessons when I was a youth. Had different direction. We had to define our blessings for trying to get in the game. I still came through in the clutch. Fourth quarter with range. I'm calling static on the line. Lose my senses. Destined for greatness while stuck in place with my mental dedication. But still at times I will forget myself. Caught up in some shit. Hesitation I probably felt because of empty validation from somebody else. I never wanted to be amongst some. Watch your step, take me back to realer times when we was fine. We could talk without the drama. Now we fuss and fight, living life, bonding over trauma. I release you, girl. Said I release you, girl. Yeah. Said I release you, girl. Said I release you, yeah. Cause tides turn, baby. Tides turn. I'm so wavy, yeah. So baby, don't chase me. I hope you get home safely, yeah. Cause tides turn, baby. Tides turn. So wavy, yeah. So baby, don't chase me. I hope you get home safely. I really don't know what we're gonna be, but I gotta let go, girl. Cause you disturbing my peace. Really feel it's time now. You need some time and some space, so I gotta let you know, girl. Gotta put you back in your place, and then I gotta move on, just move on. Move on, just move on, cause tides turn, baby, tides turn, I'm so wavy, yeah, so baby, don't chase me, I hope you get home safely, yeah. Tides turn, baby, tides turn, I'm so wavy, yeah. So baby, don't chase me. I hope you get home safely.
All right, we are back here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. And we are having a nice conversation about, are we healing or are we just staying busy? And I just have some things I want to say about this. And first, I want to talk about the culture of staying busy and how this has become a thing. And every one of these points I could resonate with. And the thing about it is, you see everybody's staying booked and busy, everybody's doing their thing, you know what I mean? So it kind of almost influences you to do the same. Like, okay, they're showing up here, they're at this event, and I need to be at some of this stuff too. So when the opportunity comes my way, it's like, yeah, I'm coming, I'm coming. When I really need to be like, okay, I just was somewhere yesterday. You know what I mean? So just this culture of everybody staying booked and busy is now a thing. And I know some of you know exactly what I mean. And this hustle culture, having a side gig and I'm into this and I got this business going on and now I'm trading or now I'm, investing and then now this hustle culture is so real. And if you get caught up in it, sometimes it's a good thing. And if it's profitable, yeah, that's a good thing. But if you're ignoring yourself and your personal needs and your mental health needs, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? Get your hustle on. And sometimes even getting your hustle on can get depressing at times. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and that's okay. But you cannot ignore your personal needs and the things that are going on in your personal life. And always being available. I had to stop doing this now. I had pumped the brakes on this. I used to be available all of the time. Give me a reason and I'm there. You know what I mean? I was always saying yes, 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 even when I should have said no so many times. And just always being available. Sometimes you got to analyze that. Are you always available for people? And if you're not available, is it because you got something else going on? And that was me. That was me. And sometimes it still is only when I need it to be. Like I'll make myself available for what means something to me, something that I'm passionate about, or something that's going to bring some money to my household. So I make sure that's that on that. And just making yourself always available. You got to take a look at that. Take a look at that, especially even with your friends, always being available, always being the one that's called on and all the things. I know people like that. Um, on this is kind of minute, but it's real. Constant notifications on your social media. And I didn't even notice that I had turned mine off. And my daughter's a witness to this. Like last night, I didn't realize I had turned mine off till I turned it back on. And every time I fell asleep, and every time I got into a good deep sleep, my phone was going ding, 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 ding. And what did I do? Right out of my sleep, I went and grabbed my phone to see. I mean, I'm talking 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Just answering my notifications on my phone and just waking up out of my sleep. I had it up so loud that it was waking me up out of my sleep. I'm turning it off. Or I'm gonna figure out how I could turn it off at like midnight or something like that. Gotta figure that one out. But definitely that's a thing. Are your notifications always on? And if so, why? Is it because, only thing I want to hear is ching ching, cha-ching, ching. Is that right, Sunshine? That's the that really. Like if you want to know what's going on, go and look.
I have to go look. I don't turn notifications on for messages, for any of that. The only thing I get notifications for are text messages. Other than that, I turn all that stuff off because and I make it so that I don't see the little numbers pop up so that it says like 3
1, 2,
whatever.
3,
Yeah,
4,
no,
5.
none of that.
Girl, I'm gonna have to give you my phone because we got the same kind of phone.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I need to fix that because I definitely I want to know who's dinging me. You know what I mean? I have my notifications off well, I keep them on for my Facebook Messenger because that's how I'm contacted by a lot of my different business affiliates. But for some reason, I must have turned them off and I turn it back on and I'm like, oh my God. And the thing about it is people want you to be available at like 5 o'clock in the morning asking you a question and I get it because I've done it before thinking, okay, I'm gonna send them a message at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I know they're not gonna answer me till 8 or 9 or during business hours. But at the same time, I'm gonna stop doing that. And intentionally wait until 8 or 9 o'clock to message somebody about some business, whatever going on. And if that's a thing for you, go look at your phone, because I know after this I'm gonna go on ChatGPT and figure out how to turn all these things on or put a timer on these things. Because one thing that I know I definitely do is grab my phone every time it goes off, whether it's, I don't care, whatever it is, I'm grabbing my phone. I could be cooking or sleeping, I'm grabbing my phone. And then yeah, so but from a personal standpoint, I put this in here. Just being a connector in the community and consider myself a community leader. And sometimes that holds a lot of weight. We just had an election, and just having that thing upon me, like, okay, Karen, I try to stay inclusive and neutral until everything pans out. Decide on my own who I'm going to support, and let that be that. But it was kind of hard listening to all the different candidates, and I know it's turned into a different conversation, but yeah, sometimes the weight of that and trying to be supportive to everyone is a hard thing. So from my perspective, sometimes I have to manage that correctly. And of course, we just got out of the primary, and that was a little tense. And consistently pouring into others, that became a thing for me. Just always, okay, it's okay, and what do you need, and all the things to so many people. And I got 3 children, you know what I mean. I have a circle of loving, caring friends and sisters, and then I have 60,000 women that I manage who are going through things every single day. And sometimes that becomes a thing. Golly. Becomes a thing, listening to everybody's problems every single day. And people thinking that you have the answers and the resources when you really don't. Because to be honest, in Douglas County, everybody is tapped out. Everybody's tapped out, and it seems like everybody needs somewhere to live. Of course, you think because someone gets food stamps that they're good. Okay, they get food stamps. What's the problem? But now groceries are so high that their food stamps don't even go as far as they used to go. And of course, some people were barely getting food stamps in the first place. So now they're depending on these food banks and support from the community and resources. And it's hard. It's hard listening to that every day, and trying to be as supportive as I can be, at the same time trying to be supportive to myself. So that's a thing, and it's hard, but that's the position that I took on, and I know that I am called to do. Um, so I just have to, manage that the way I need to manage it um every day. And the last thing is feeling the pressure to always show up strong. And that's really what I've been doing lately. Sometimes you have to just like shut down and put on a mask and show up, even though you're feeling some kind of way, even though you know what you're going through and you know how you're feeling, you still decide to put on this coat, or you know what I mean. Sometimes call it turning on, and then I sometimes I turn on and I don't know how to turn off. So that's something that I need to work on myself. Is okay, yeah, I turned on for these few hours, I showed up for them, I did what I was supposed to do, I said I was coming. Okay, now Karen, digress. Go home, sit down. You know what I mean? Go do something that's going to help you. Go, make a phone call to somebody who you know is going to pour into you, or something like that. Um so yeah. So one question that I have for you as listeners and watchers on Facebook or wherever you're watching from, YouTube. Um and one question that I have to the callers is, do you think people today know how to truly rest anymore? I know a lot of people go on trips and they take a reset or they go to retreats, but I'm talking about on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. Um, Call in. The numbers on the screen, the numbers on my Facebook screen, 404-254-4347. Call in and answer that question. Do you think that people today know how to truly rest? Like, okay, I'm resting. I know some people who they do. I do know people who know how to say, you know what? I'm resting. I'm taking a break from all this. This weekend is all going to be about me. I'm gonna be in my house. It's gonna be me in my pajamas and my popcorn, and I'll binge watch things and just kind of disconnect. And that's something that I'm learning to do slowly but surely. Aren't I, Alana? Little by little. Do you think so? Okay. Those that don't know, my daughter is here in the studio with me, Alana, aka Alana Boo. And I would really like your opinion on that because you've seen me go, right? But recently, haven't you seen me stay on the couch and get into shows? Even if I do take a break, I still, I feel like I am doing that a little bit more. What is your opinion on that?
I feel like you're.
Speak louder.
Oh.
Come on, get on the microphone. Come on. Just get on the microphone. You ain't even really gonna be on screen like that. Okay.
I think. Well, what's the question?
The question is, do you think that I'm working on resting more and digressing more recently?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't, tell me.
No, it's like you find times out of the day to come and chill and like digress and hang out with me and watch some TV and be interested in what I'm doing. But you're always still on go. Like it's like embedding. You're still on go, but like in a chill mode.
In a chill mode.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions for me as my child, like outside looking in, as far as like being busy? What do you think is something that I can do to rest more or to take a break or truly rest?
Well, I think you just need to have like set days where you just say like you're not gonna
do anything.
Yeah, answer any like questions, calls. Like you need to you don't give yourself like rest days, like set rest days. Like you're never like off. Yeah, it's always on 7 days a week.
Golly. Well, I was off like the other day. But yeah, thank you, Alana, for your opinion. Stay on standby. We might ask you another question since you know me so well. But yeah, call in 404-254-4347. Do you think that people truly know how to rest anymore? That's a good question. I would love for somebody to call in, and I see y'all watching and I see y'all commenting, so I know you're there. And you know what? I'm gonna take a quick break, Sunshine, and then we're gonna come back. And I still want to put that question out there. Do you think that people today know how to truly rest? So if you want to call in and be a part of the show, we're going to take a quick break. 404-254-4347. We'll be right back here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio.
Sky People Chief coming, peace, love, and I'm just trying to see where you going with that on. You got cute for me. Looking like my baby. I don't come in here unless they pay me. I've been here all night, I'm feeling wavy, but they closing down like the Gallery Road Macy's. Where we finna go, though? We can hit the time to take some photos. Girl, I got the smoke, but can you roll, though? You know I thought about you jumping on this pole. Go somewhere with all that over there you got. Running on my spot, do you running there a lot? You ran into a Roddy Rich, I'm good with the box. It'll be a remix, non-stop, let it rock. Lala, yeah. Look who bringing back Jet magazines, ain't it? Beauty of the week indeed, that's a queen, ain't it? And she throw back on the smoke. I asked what it is, she said the presidential shit, not that tangerine, ain't it? She said, boy, stop. You thought it, you tried it. I said, yeah, whatever, if it's so that I buy it. Windows to your soul, girl, I love the way your eyes get. When I look into them, I fall in a pool of violence. That's just what it's like, I got a jet that you can pilot. When we see each other, always frequent fly mileage. It's always a laugh, she be like, boy, why you so childish? Because the internet, she said, just be quiet. You know I'm a fool, Paramore, I'm a riot. Like God is to a like God, I'm a lion. You can't make you, we ain't been the best by it. You know what it is, me and Slim, we just vibing.
All right, we are back here live at Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. And today we're talking about, are we healing or are we just staying busy and that sort of thing, and everything that falls in line with that topic today. And just recently before we went to break, I got kind of personal and talked about, me resting, and my daughter who's here basically gave her comment that, yeah, I am taking more breaks and spending time with her more, and chilling on the couch and watching things that she's interested in and that I'm interested in too. But she said that I'm always working, like I'm always working in some aspect, and that I never am off. I'm always on. So that's something that I need to consider. And this is my number one stunner right here. Like, she sees me every day, all day, when I'm home, and or even when I'm gone, we're communicating. So she knows mama's always working, and she doesn't take off. So, and I think that was so significant about going to Puerto Rico. I was able to really take off. And even when I was in Puerto Rico, I kind of was working too, but nothing like I do when I'm here. I was really enjoying myself and, taking in the moment. And I think being away helps you do that. For me, some people, they can go to a retreat, down the street, or go get a massage. But I think for me, maybe just taking a vacation or being away does help me take off, But what I need to do is learn how to take off even when I'm home, and make that a part of my week. And even kind of delegating different responsibilities for a couple days a week. I may need to do that too. I don't know, but I'm gonna figure that out. Thank you, Alana, for that comment. But next, I want to talk about what real healing looks like. And the number one thing that real healing looks like, and I know this to be true, is boundaries and setting boundaries. And on the other side is people respecting your boundaries too. Sometimes it's hard to respect people's boundaries because you're like, what are you talking about? But you have to set boundaries, and you have to make sure that people around you respect those boundaries. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, but definitely setting boundaries is a part of healing that I'm learning about in my recently, just setting boundaries, saying, you know what, no, I can't, or I'm not, you know. um on the way here, listen to this song, she said, no, if it's gonna do something to my peace, or it's gonna infer on my happiness or my peacefulness, or something that I need to work on right now, the answer is no. And sometimes that's so hard to do, especially the people that you love and you care about, but you have to say no. And sometimes setting boundaries, to the people you love. And if they can't respect those boundaries, or, if they can't respect that, you have to take note. Take note of who doesn't respect your boundaries. And like I said, I'm learning about that myself. Recently, is just learning about boundaries and the realness of it all. And the next one is rest without guilt. And one thing that I know I'll probably have to go through is when I do take those days off, and when I do digress, what is that going to look like to everyone else? What is that going to look like to the people who are always contacting me and checking in, and and asking for things? Or what is that going to look like to my kids if I say, you know what, going to a hotel room for a couple days? Yes, look, she already like, oh no, you're not without me. But what is that going to look like to them? When I say, I'm taking a break, and I probably won't be able to do that till my birthday or something like that. But definitely, when I think of taking off and being free, I think of staycation where there's a pool, and I don't even know, some music and me in a bathing suit and some sunglasses. But yeah. And therapy is something that I've been looking into, virtual therapy, even just checking in with therapists around and seeing who's in network, and what my insurance pays for. I did that yesterday. And so this is a real thing. Like, this is real time reflection. I talked to someone that I trust, and he was like, maybe you should consider therapy. And that's something that I have not done. I went through a whole life change, up and down, like all around life change in the last 12 months. And I have never got therapy or any kind of outside help. And sometimes you feel like, oh, you're talking about your problems to your friends or your family. That could be therapeutic, but that's not therapy. Like, so definitely, that's something that I'm actively working on, is finding someone I could talk to who don't really who know me. That's another thing. I'll probably have to go like on the other side of town or something, because I want to talk to somebody who has no clue what I want to be open and honest, and I want to be able to, just really let go. But anyways, and being honest with yourself, that's another, another example of what really healing looks like. When you are constantly like, sometimes we lie to ourselves. It's a real thing. We lie to ourselves to make us think that something is one way when it's really not that way. Like, are you kidding me? Like, golly. Like, sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, oh, I'm so busy. I can't get because I keep a pile on the floor next to my bed of clothes. And I'll be like, oh, I'm so busy. I can't wrap my head around that. Da, 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 da. That's a lie. That's a lie. I could get those clothes and hang them up, or do whatever I need to do with them, give them away. I done made so many excuses you would never even know, and they're all lies. Lies, lies, lies. But anyways, so being honest with yourself is a true sign of healing. You can do that. You can get up and do the things that you said you were going to do. And sometimes procrastination comes in, and procrastination sometimes is a liar. Girl, you got time, or you could do that later on, or you can you got other things to do that's more important than that. No, that's important. So sometimes the littlest thing you don't think is important, that's important. And it'll probably be life changing if you just hurry up and get it done. Sheesh. And spending time alone. Sometimes it's hard for me to be alone. I don't even care if, like, when my children's father come gets them for the weekend, I I instantly think of what's going on this weekend. What is my girls doing? You know, a lot of my friends, they have their own apartments and homes or whatever. So I'm thinking of let me pack a bag and get out of here. My kids are gone. You know, but instead of that, I could be at home, staying home and getting things done. And that's sometimes hard to do. I think I could count on my hand how many times I actually just stayed still while they were gone. But yes, spending time alone, especially when you're used to being in a house with, 4 or 5 people at a time, sometimes it's hard to be alone with your own thoughts. And you know what I mean? Like you constantly got children or, always trying to make something to eat or figure out what's going on, what's the next thing. Being alone sometimes is hard. But I'm learning, like this weekend I did spend some time alone. And it was okay. It was okay. And I already talked about saying no. Sometimes you got to just say no for yourself. And sometimes saying no is good for you. And even sometimes saying no is good for the other person too. Sometimes some people need to hear no. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I need to hear no too. And that's hard, but if you got to say no, and I'll deal with it on my end. I'll process it the way I need to process it. And this is one thing that I just talked about too, and I'm glad I have it here, is relearning yourself. So as we get older, I'm about to be 47 years old, and just relearning myself and kind of accepting the transition that I've made into the person that I am right now sometimes is hard to embrace. And I have not took time to relearn myself. So I'm just being personal here. And but sometimes we go through life and we're going through all of these things and all of these transitions and we're changing, and that's okay. We're all supposed to change. We're not supposed to stay the same. We're not. And I know for a fact that I am a totally different person than I was a year ago. And sometimes learning myself, learning myself and relearning myself. And sometimes you have to relearn and relearn. And when I say in the past, I want to say 72 hours, I've started relearning myself all over again. And sometimes that's hard to do, but we got to do it. We got to do it, especially if we want to, excel and go to the next level and do all the things that God has called us to do. We're going to have to relearn ourselves and go to therapy and be honest with ourselves and spend time alone and set boundaries and say no and rest. Yeah. We're going to have to do all of that if we want to excel and be the person that we are to the people that we love and the people that depend on us and that love us. We have to get real healing and real rest and real reflection. And these are 3 things that I'm just going to leave y'all with, and then we're going to just wrap this up. Learning not to pour from an empty cup. A lot of us do that all the time. And this will affect everything that you have going on because you're empty. Now you're empty going like this, pouring into an empty cup, like pouring from an empty cup. I'm sorry, pouring from an empty cup. So you're empty. You're going through things. You've been through all the things, feeling some kind of way, and now you're trying to pour into somebody else. Good luck. I've tried it. It's hard. It's hard. Sometimes for certain people that you love and care about, you have to just, press through and do what you need to do for them, and then go back to yourself. Okay. Protecting your peace while still loving community. Oh, we got a caller. Yay. Who is it? I love when people call in. Who's calling in?
This is South Lawn Coffee Company.
Oh, hey. What do you have a comment about what we're talking about today?
I just tuned in. I'm not commenting just yet.
Okay, we have a discussion going on about resting and healing and what that really looks like on like in this day and time, you know, taking time for yourself and setting boundaries? And is that something that you've experienced or something that you're doing now?
Yes, I'm resting right now.
Well, that's good. That's good. Is that something that you do often? Is that something that you make sure it gets done regardless of what's going on?
Yes, I do. I mean, I have a busy schedule lately, so I try to take time out to relax and refresh my mind and my thoughts every few days when things seem overwhelming.
That's good. And do you know what happens when you don't do that? Like, have you experienced not taking that break, and like, do you crash or?
At least once a month I crash regardless of what I do.
Really?
Yes. I mean, I could drink all the coffee, all the caffeine, sodas, everything, but once a month I have to sleep at least 12 hours.
Okay, okay. I get that. I could see that, and I could see how that's needed. But yeah, thank you for calling in today, and keep listening in. We're going to be on for a little while longer, and we're going to be just talking this thing out and closing this thing out. But we'll be back next week from on Thursday from 2 to 4. So make sure you listen to the whole show next time, so you could comment when you call in. Thank you for calling in.
Definitely.
All right, bye. All right, that was South Lawn Coffee calling in, and he says that, you know, when he doesn't take a break, he crashes. He makes sure that he always gets his rest, no matter what's going on. And shout out to him for, you know, keeping that a part of his regimen. And some people don't know how to do that, but I am learning to do that. And protecting your peace while still loving community. That's hard sometimes, especially for me. Protecting my peace while still loving my community is that's hard. I almost have to separate myself from a lot of different things just to protect my peace. So yeah. All right, this is the KTC show. Who's calling in?
This is Big Red.
Okay, hey Big Red.
How you doing, Miss Lady?
I'm doing well. Are you listening to the show?
Yes, I am, and I wanted to call in because I think that this message is truly powerful, and what you're touching on, it hits a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs who are not really in a space to take a break. And I've been a consultant for almost 20 years now, and I'll tell you right now, like Sunshine knows, last year I had a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And it was one of those things that, like my brothers, my sisters, my siblings were really on me about taking a break. And we're talking about for maybe 12 years straight, I was working 100 plus hours a week. Easy. Wow. And it got to a point where I had to cut off a lot of family and whatnot, because I mean I'm paying bills for people, I'm paying car notes and things, you know, for cars and stuff that I'm not driving, and it's like, okay, bro, what are you doing all this for? Like we're good, we're in a better place, you know, like you need to take some time for yourself. I mean, I went several years without taking a vacation.
Wow. Yeah, so definitely you understand exactly what, you know, taking rest and resting and taking a break and saying no really means. And it almost costs you your life. A heart attack, I don't want to take all that fire with me. I don't want to see anybody that I love, you know, to go through that either, without taking rest and, you know, setting boundaries and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. There's a great book, The Power of the Word No.
The Power of the Word No.
Yes, it's a great book. I bought that for my sister when she graduated college, and she loves that book. And it's one of those things. Is like I was always the person who, like, as long as you had a plan and you asked me for money, it didn't matter how much the money was. It was just like, if you got a plan, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But then it got to a point where people were just calling me and asking me for money, and I'm like, and it just started wearing on me. Before I knew it, I had a bunch of gray hair on my face and in my head, and I'm like, where did all this come from? It's like, you have to be able to set boundaries, because if you do not, it will come back to bite you, and your body will tell you.
Oh yeah,
it will definitely tell you. So I mean, I just, like I said, I love your message today, and I'm gonna keep listening.
Yeah, well, thank you for calling in. What's your name again? I'm sorry. Oh, well, all right. It was Big Red. Was he one of the hosts on the? Did he have a show? Oh wow! Shout out to him. That was the first time I've heard him call in. Shout out to Big Red for calling in, and he definitely has a testimony about taking a break and saying no and setting boundaries. Wow, what that's a real story. And listen, I got one more. That understanding that even the strong women need support, strong women and men, I'll say, because a lot of things that we sometimes only pertain to women pertain to men as well. Especially when staying strong, of course, we talked about this earlier, being the strong woman, being the independent woman, everybody wants to show their independence and that they can make it and they can do everything. Oh, I'm only doing everything alone because I have to, you know what I mean? And if the opportunity ever comes along where I can get help, I'm talking about from anywhere, I'll take it, as far as getting things done. But understanding that even strong women and men, they always need support of some kind. You see people, they're grinding it out, they're doing everything that it takes to get things done. They got a side hustle, they got children, or they got even just themselves. Sometimes they need a word of encouragement. Sometimes they need to be poured into. Sometimes they need to be shown just a different kind of softer love that, to let them know that, you know what, I support you. I love you. I see you. And do you need anything, or whatever? Those things are very, very important. And sometimes the littlest thing to somebody who is so strong all the time and somebody who's always getting it done and somebody who's always on the go, the littlest thing would just like, I want to say a few weeks ago, shout out to Shanita Martin and her husband, Corey Martin. He's one of the lawyers here in Douglasville, and his wife, Shanita, is a realtor. And I was getting my nails done. Now, mind you, I'm getting my nails done. I'm thinking about all these things. And I was so like, I just remember just being real heavy that day. My heart was heavy. It wasn't that heavy, but my heart was. And I was getting my nails done right next to her. And she was like, "Do you have a lip combo?" I was like, I do use liner on my lips with my clear lip gloss sometimes, but I don't. Like my daughter, they always have these different colors on their lips, but I never got into that. And I was like, "No." She was like, "You need a lip combo." She was like, "And I'm gonna get you one." And I was like, "Okay, all right." The next day, I had like 1,000 things going on. She was like, "Karen, where are you at? I got your lip combo." And I was like, "You do?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, I'm dropping my son off. He's getting his hair done." It was the day of his 8th grade dance. And she comes out the car with a Sephora bag and all these little things in the bag to, do my lips. And I was like, "Thank you." And it was like this small gesture of, and I was just so overwhelmed that day. And I was just like, "Thank you so much." But then I had to call her back and say, "You know what? I really appreciate you doing that for me." You know what I mean? It just somebody just saying, "Karen, I got something for you." Or, I know it's just a lip combo, but it's cute. And I honestly, somebody took my lip combo. Yeah. I honestly, I ain't gonna say no names or anything, but somebody must have used it or something, and I can't find it anymore. Huh? I did not take your lip con. Yeah. Yeah, she spoke up. I didn't even say no names. I didn't say no names. But yeah, so listen. That's my show for today. And you know what? Shout out to Self. I see you. I see you watching, and I'm gonna call you as soon as I get out of here. And shout out to all the watchers today and everybody who called in, everybody who's watching from YouTube, and everybody who supports me. Shout out to Healthwise Medical, who has guided me through this peptide journey, and just shout out to everybody who's just trying to get some rest. Okay. Shout out to everybody who's going through transition and trying to embrace what real healing looks like. And just know that hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you, but I'm definitely about to get some rest. I even told Alana, let's go swimming today if it doesn't rain. You see what I'm saying? Might have to go to the pool by myself, but you know what? I could do that. But anyways, listen, y'all, we're going to close the show out. And I'm pretty sure she may have a few commercials to play before we actually end. But I'm going to close this show out and just let you all know that, hey, I'm trying to plan on a back to school giveaway. But other than that, I don't have anything planned as far as what I'm hosting. But I am getting a few awards soon. I'll make sure if you're following me, I'll be posting a lot of that. I have everything on my calendar now. And so if you want to support and come hang out with me or celebrate with me, I would love for you to. Next week, I will be on 102.5 with Tanisha Murray on her show. So that's going to be something significant. So I'm going to get some rest and relax and prepare for the next few weeks. You know, my daughter's about to be sweet 16 and she wants all the things, all of that. And I got to make sure she has it. But if I say no, are you going to respect that? If I say I can't do it? Ooh, that was a soft yeah. That was a soft yeah, but I believe you. But we're going to have fun and we're going to celebrate Alana's sweet 16. Then right after that, we're going to celebrate Cece's 25th. And then after that, no, I will be alone and quiet, sitting in the corner somewhere in Indian style because I'll be traumatized by these two, Alana and Cece. Boy, they are birthday queens. I don't know how this happened. But anyways, we'll be back next Thursday from 2 to 4, talking about what you've been looking for. If you want to contact me, you can contact me as Karen Campbell on Facebook, Karen the Connector GA on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, Karen the Connector. And of course, if you are a woman in the West Georgia area, you are welcome to join the Women of Douglas group, where 60,000 women connect and serve the community every day. It's an inclusive and inviting community for you to join, a safe place for you to express yourself, ask questions, and get resources. So make sure you look that up on Facebook, Women of Douglasville. We also have Men of Douglasville. That group is growing and thriving every day. The men are getting together. They are hosting events and doing all the things, just falling right in line with the whole program. So if you're a man in the West Georgia area, no matter if you're Douglasville, Villa Rica, Dallas, go to Facebook and look for Men of Douglasville. Their logo is a blue and gold logo. My logo is a purple and blue logo. So there are a lot of imposter groups, but those are the two groups. They have the same logo, different colors. So definitely would like you to join our communities and engage and get resources and all the good things. But I'll be back here next Thursday here on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio.
Your friends and family will never know the truth. Like I up and left a good nigga out the blue. Already reaching out to women and the girls I say forget it with you. Never seen to never understood. Wish I could hurt you but you'll never know this pain. Wish I could change you but for me you stay the same. Wish I could take your heart and rip it, that's the least of what I'm feeling. But you good cause you got hoes you can't complain to. Can't believe that I ever tried to save you. Straight from mommy to Diana's little baby. It's my fault, I can't admit it. Stay too long and too committed. Man, I should've felt that one nigga, at least he had good credit. Every time I let some shit slide, my soul died.